client here in Australia has said to you, I want you to be my Australian VA, and you're doing $10 an hour tasks for that, you should be thinking bigger. You should be going, I need to upskill. I need to be like an OBM, a business manager for them. And I can outsource the $10 an hour tasks and have my own VA that I'm giving that work to. So it frees me up to make more money or take on more clients.
We are here with a beautiful Jess from AgentSync. Welcome to Wealthiest Wife, the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
I'm excited because Jess and I met actually just over a year ago today. We met in person in Bali.
Yes.
Because we're both part of the same business school, and it was the retreat there. It was so much fun. I actually think I bonded with Clint, hubby.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I bring him along. I'm like, you're good at networking. You could do this.
You can rather than introduce and then
yeah. No, he just comes along for the ride. He loves it.
Oh, I love him. Do love him. I was like, where is he actually? We should have him on here.
Yeah.
I asked Jess to come on because you have created some absolute magic in your life. So I know a bit of your story. I'm going to get you to share it because, you know, we're all about empowering money, empowering finances, empowering us as women to be able to be like financial providers without needing to be in the masculine role.
Yes.
Without emasculating the men in our lives.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. He's going to be the bread. I'm going to be the breadwinner. He's going to be the stay-at-home dad.
I love that. And yeah, you've created some absolute magic and scaled really quickly. So I would love for you to actually just intro, let everyone know like what you do, how you help people. We'll start there.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks again for having me. So, yeah, I am the founder and CEO of AgentSync. So what we do is provide incredible support via people in the Philippines. And we've got two packages. We've got our Essential and our Elite. So I'll go into that in a little bit more detail because I think it's really important for people not to just think that virtual assistants in the Philippines are, you know, just basic admin. We've got incredibly highly skilled people. But I started AgentSync 3 years ago, but before that I was working in a corporate real estate office. And I had been working with people in the Philippines for 8 years, and I just absolutely loved working with them. They actually worked a lot harder than a lot of the people in the office that I was working in, and they just provided incredible support. So when my boss at the time was like, oh, I'm going to sell my agency, I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like I thought I was going to work there forever. And it just so happened one of the VAs that we had there was quitting to go and move to America. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I could replace her, not using the agency that we were working with, but if I could work out how to hire VAs from the Philippines and put them into the agency that I was with, but also other businesses, I wonder if I could make my own business. And I'd always been a little bit entrepreneurial. I'd started out with doing nails and spray tans as a bit of a mobile thing around my local town. And that went well, but it kind of wasn't making me the money that I sort of thought as being, you know, your own business owner. So then when I moved to Sydney, I obviously got a corporate role and I was like, okay, this pays well. And I kind of thought that was it for me. Earning a corporate salary. I thought, I've made it, that's all. I would only ever earn 100 or 120K a year. That was it for me. But then when I, started AgentSync and I put a VA into my then agency that I was working for, a real estate agency, I thought, I wonder if I could actually do this as a business and put incredible VAs into other businesses. And so, started with one and then I got another and I ended up with, I would say probably about 30 in different businesses, and I was still working full-time in my corporate role. And my boss at the time knew that what I was doing, he was my first client, but he was very supportive in what I was doing. It was actually really great he allowed me to work on my business while still working for him. Yeah, that worked really well. And then he sold his business and I was like, okay, I better do this full time. So after a year of working for him and growing AgentSync. I then quit the agency and went full-time in AgentSync. So I've been full-time in it for 2 years now, and we've got well over 100 virtual assistants now in the Philippines, well over 100 clients as well. And it's growing really rapidly and just continues to grow. So I'm super excited for a few years to see how much more I can grow it.
I love this. And we always love hearing like the success stories. So I want to know, so what was going on for you? Because all of us entrepreneurs, we don't just wake up and be like, I'm going to go do this, and everything just falls in our lap and everything is easy breezy. There's always the dualities. Was there any struggles, or where did you feel stuck? Was there anything around money?
Yeah.
You were in a stable income.
Yes.
So you're then breaking that or letting that go, saying goodbye to that beautiful stability that we all crave. Do something that is fully up to you. You have 100% responsibility for, and business is turbulent. Business is fluctuating.
Yeah.
How did you experience that transition?
Yeah, it was really difficult. And I think that's probably why I stayed in my corporate role for a good year, because I was so worried that it would all disappear and I wouldn't have that safety net of having a corporate role. I actually hired a friend to work in AgentSync before I quit my corporate role, because I was like, I'm feeling really funny. Like, will this all disappear? Will people think I'm a fraud? Like, all of these things. And because it took off so quickly, it happened so quickly. And I was just feeling like this is too good to be true. So I think it's just something. I always knew I would have my own business, but I was very comfortable in my corporate role. 110, 120K like salary, super, all of that, paid holidays. To go and then leave all of that was really scary for me, especially when you've got a house, you've got a mortgage, actually 2 mortgages because we had an investment property, and 2 kids. That stability, I craved that.
A newborn, hey?
Yeah. Yep.
1 year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So also been a full-time parent as well.
Full-time parent, full-time in a corporate role while trying to grow agency. I actually look back now and I'm like, I actually don't know how I did it.
Sleep, obviously.
No sleep. But I also, my whole thing is outsourcing. So I outsourced everything I could in my business to help it grow. And I just focused on like lead gen and the sales role. And then everything behind the scenes was happening by other team members in the Philippines. So that's a bit of a insight, I guess, of like how you can grow a business really quickly. It's like get support from the Philippines because it's
delegate.
Delegate.
That village. It's fine. Like we see it all the time. It takes a village to raise a child, but we, especially in us Western society, we're like, no, we can do it ourselves. We have so much conditioning around we can do it ourselves. I love that you came from experience with that, because I definitely have I've been in business for 12 years officially, but even while I was at uni, I was doing some PT and massage on the side, still hustling.
Yeah.
Like more hobby.
Yeah.
12 years and I'm going to say 10 years of that. I can do it all myself.
Yeah.
And what it does is keep you stuck and frustrated. And why can't I get to this next level and whatnot? And then it's only been the last 2 years that I finally, but I'm allowing myself to trust in other people to get shit done. And oh my gosh.
Yeah. What a relief, hey.
Your mental capacity. And we all want to be the CEO. Does the CEO do everything in the business?
No. The CEO should be doing nothing but leading a team and checking the numbers and making sure the business is growing. That's literally the role of a CEO. So if you're doing, your Canva graphics and you're, fixing up your funnels and things like that, sure, have an overview of it, but don't spend hours actually doing the work. It's actually crazy when you think about everything that business owners have to do in their business and they're still doing it all themselves and they wonder why their business isn't growing.
They're feeling frustrated, especially as women. Like I do believe men can do the Groundhog Day. They don't have their rhythm and their cycle is daily, like daily. Well, we actually have another layer of hormonal cycle as well, where we just can't do that, and that's why we burn out and we think we can.
Yes.
I love where this is going, this conversation, because I'm a big believer in I was the hustle, because if men can do it, I can do it too.
Yep.
And then why do we feel so burnt out? But it's like, no, how did a woman do it?
Yeah.
more feminine and actually work less and earn more. And I love that belief. And that used to trigger me when other people say it, would say
Yes.
it. Like, how can you work less and earn more? Like, you're so entitled.
Yeah, yeah.
That was my polarity at play. And now I'm like, I earn more than I work less, ever have, like hourly, and I earn more than I ever have.
Yeah. I love that.
It's
And
really
I think the big shift for people needs to be around people see as like paying support, like paying a virtual assistant, or even if they've got an onshore team member as an expense. But if you are taking those $10 an hour tasks off your plate and it's freeing you up to spend your time on the actual dollar productive things like lead gen or doing the sales calls, bringing on more clients, then you're actually making more money. So it's not an expense to your business. It's actually allowing you to make more money in your business. So like, I really need people to see it like that because it shouldn't be an expense.
And that's where I believe, I feel like there's a lot of truth to this, but it's just my truth. Those of us as women who become entrepreneurs or start a business is because we think it's because we want more money. Money is just a resource to have more time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, because we want more time and more choices. I love how I say this, and I always do this at least once an episode. My beautiful ADHD brain loses its. What am I trying to say? We come in, we want the time and we want that outcome, but we're so scared to invest because that's just the poverty mentality at play. But most of us who are in business as women, especially startups, small businesses, we come from the poverty, we come from the scarcity, and we're like, we don't want to repeat what our parents did. It's stuck in a job that isn't fulfilling. So let's step into this space. But we cap ourselves. We think,
Absolutely.
I can't spend the money to get help. And then there's the people pleaser at play. We want to people please, meaning we don't want to ask for help.
Yep.
What was saying before. I would actually love to know, like, how did this, I know you learned this lesson early in your corporate role anyway, which is amazing. What came up as you started to scale? And like, obviously you're more comfortable maybe than most with the delegating because you had the experience in the corporate role. So you had the stability of your paycheck, understanding, like seeing that at play. But did anything come up as your paycheck really started to grow? The revenue in your business started to grow. Like, what are the things that came up for you? And then how did you handle it?
Yeah. Oh, I love that question. So I just remember, when you have goals that you set, like money goals or revenue goals that you set in your business, and it might be a certain amount of revenue per month. So the very first one I remember is I wanted to make 5K a month in my business because that was roughly my corporate salary. And I thought if I could just like beat that, like get that or beat it, like I would be so happy. And then I did that, I think, within the first 2 months. But 5K in business revenue isn't 5K in your pocket at all. And you learn that very quickly. So I was like, okay, then I need 10K revenue because once you pay the tax man and all of that sort of stuff. And so then I did that. And I remember I set up Monday.com as a dashboard, and I had $15,000 monthly revenue on as like a target. And I remember sitting with my laptop in front of the TV at night, and Clint looked at my screen and he's like, "What's that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's my goal for the next couple of months, like that per month." And he was like, "What? Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, like I'm going to do it." And I get goosebumps now even talking about it because we were just like, could not imagine me making $15,000 a month. Like that was more money than both of us were making together. And I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it in the next month or two. And we were just blown away at that. And now it's like, I'm doing well, like a lot more, like past the 200K months. And that's reoccurring revenue. So that is every month. And we'll just continue to grow. I just remember, and I see the number now and I'm like, oh, cool. Like we're growing every month. We, continue. I've never had a month where I haven't grown. But the number to me now is like, the goal is much, much higher because there's a lot more I want to do. Like I'm so happy providing support to other businesses. That number to me, it doesn't mean what it used to. Like it used to mean like, yes, for us and the family and like, that's amazing. But for me, that number is like, I could bring in more team. I could support more people in the Philippines. I could support more business owners. So the shift for me has really been like not thinking about the goal of monthly revenue as like, oh, that's mine or ours as a family, and we get to do all these cool things. It's like, I want to create so much more impact in other businesses and let them have offshore support and be able to help them grow their businesses. So the shift for me, yeah, it's really been just thinking about money differently, especially revenue. Yeah. But it's crazy to think how much the business has grown in such a short amount of time, and you see the revenue and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, we're growing every month. But at the start, it was like such a small number, but then it was so big. It's crazy.
Yeah, because you were breaking through, like yours and Clint's, and this is a lot of people. This was mine. Like your glass ceiling is you only know what you know, and that's that income.
Yeah.
And look, there's going to be people listening who aren't business owners, and that's totally cool. I love this we're not here to encourage you to go start a business. I'm all about however you want to make your money.
Totally.
Make more money, but understand, like, if you're feeling capped right now, it's because there's a level of, like, you haven't been able to break through it because you haven't thought greater or thought of a different way to get there. And it's a lot of family dynamics of what we've been handed down, like, go get the good job, work for 40 years.
Yeah.
All of that jazz. But I love what you said. I've talked about this a lot, is because I was always the money hungry because I was in so much scarcity. So I just wanted the money outcome of my business. And the only time that it ever shifted into then, like, the scaling and having overflow more than I ever thought is when I realized, hang on, the money is the byproduct of the service I provide. And I actually had a friend sit down with me super randomly. And it's like, I always knew this, but when the time you hear it and it actually clicks, and she's like, you've got to be of service. How you been of service?
Yep.
Like, when I actually want to help people and get the outcome, the money comes. And I want to say this, don't get me wrong. I'm not here just being all selfless, like, oh, it's not about me. It's about who I can help. I get out of bed every day for myself.
Totally. Yeah.
Like, I'm running this business for myself, for the quality of life that I can have, and I have a family and I want them to have that quality of life with me too. The only way I'm going to get my selfish outcome, which we're all here for selfish outcomes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Anyone can challenge me on that, and I'll prove how you have a selfish outcome too. But, like, when I have that, the way to get that is by being selfless, is the, like, who can I help? Who can I help?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I think there's a perfect lesson in this with what you guys are providing, because you literally help not just the consumer, like me, as if I'm the client, it's the service you're providing, the families in the Philippines.
Yeah. 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 I get so much joy when a VA messages me and shows me a picture of the new car that they've been able to buy for their family. And they're like, thank you so much. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, it gives me goosebumps, makes me want to cry. Or, like, just little things. Like, they'll send me a picture of them with the flowers that we sent them to say, thanks for being with AgentSync for a year. And it's just like, oh my God, like, I just love it. And the money, the revenue is as a byproduct of helping more businesses and more families in the Philippines. Like, I never thought I would have a team of over 100 in the Philippines. That's wild to me.
Families you are helping. Do you know what? Let's open a can of worms, because we've had this conversation in Instagram DMs, and you've talked. I'm like, fuck it, let's talk about it on here, because this is wealthy as fuck mentality. And, like, maybe trigger warning for anyone who's listening to this in their victim ego entitlement. I say this because I can be a great victim.
Yeah, I think we all can.
We all can.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this, because you're huge in, hey, let me support your business with offshore. Yes. So to me, how that converts to me, like, you have the nicest way to say it to me. I'm like, fuck yeah, I can get cheaper help. It's cheaper for me. I can get more hours.
Yes.
I love that. But then we have it's entitlement across, which has come from a poverty mentality anyway, in Australia, where there's the VAs and whatnot here who are, like, complaining, like, we're losing work because business owners are paying for cheaper. Like, talk to me about your experience with this, and then feel free to share your opinion. Like, I'm happy to share my triggering opinion.
Yeah, I love it. I love this conversation because I'll have it a lot. Especially, I get people commenting on my Meta ads and things like, you're the problem with this country, sending jobs overseas. And I'm like, fucking giving me a break. Like, come on. People here in Australia, like, I have onshore support as well. I have 2 amazing team members, Lauren and Christy, and they do different parts of my business that I believe I can't outsource and I don't want to outsource because they talk to Australian clients. Lauren does sales, so she's talking to new clients that want to come on board, and Christy manages a team of VAs, and the three of them manage clients and VAs. So they're that support. And I truly believe if a client's having a big problem with their VA or possibly want a second VA or a third VA, they want to grow their team, they want to have a real conversation with someone in Australia to be like, this is what I need, or this is what's going wrong. How can we fix it? So I'm more than happy to pay them really, really well. I give them bonuses. They're doing well, right? So I believe that those roles can't be outsourced. And that's the same with everyone in Australia. If you have a job or you're a VA here in Australia, there's certain things that you can do for business owners that they shouldn't outsource, or people don't want to outsource. You're going to have a job. You just have to find what that is. But if you're as an Australian VA, you shouldn't be doing the $10 an hour task. If a client here in Australia has said to you, I want you to be my Australian VA, and you're doing $10 an hour tasks for that, you should be thinking bigger. You should be going, I need to upskill. I need to be like an OBM, a business manager for them. And I can outsource the $10 an hour tasks and have my own VA that I'm giving that work to. So it frees me up to make more money or take on more clients. This is where a lot of, especially Australian VAs, get capped at the amount of clients that they can bring on. And they're never going to make more money if they can only service 10 clients a month.
10 clients, yeah.
Whereas they could service 20 and make more money, and they have a team member that they work really closely with to do the lower $10 an hour tasks. So for those people to say, you're taking my jobs, no, we're not. We are actually helping you. If you think about it differently, you could have your own VA and make more money. And for you to outsource to a VA, just say it's $2,000 a month that you could be paying that VA, you could take on a shitload more clients and get up to the $20K a month revenue that you desire. But you're never going to get there if you continue to do those things.
Yeah.
And even like in your own business, you as the business owner shouldn't be reconciling your Xero. You shouldn't be doing your own Canva templates. So even if you don't want a Filipino VA doing the tasks for the clients you've got, they should be doing those things in your own business. So you're not up till midnight, doing those things.
When you're a VA, unless you're employed by a company and you're on your salary, that's different. But when you're working for yourself, you're a sole trader, you're not only doing work for clients, but you have to do your own business stuff. And this is like, I get it when you first start doing, because we want to make money and we're like, yeah, I've got some clients, I'm trading time for money. But you didn't become a VA to be working 40-hour weeks, 50-hour weeks. And yeah, maybe you can do that and hustle 50, 60-hour weeks. I'm going to assume you don't have kids, because fuck doing that with kids, like in my opinion.
Absolutely. Oh God, yep.
My mental health and energy. But you're going to say you make the $20K a month with what you charge and all of that, but then you have no fucking time to enjoy it because you're burnt out. You've got so much work to do.
Absolutely.
But I know that's where the tipping point comes. Like these people, these VAs who are complaining, they're not there yet, but they're not thinking greater. And I guess this conversation is to really challenge people to think greater. Like if you're a sole trader, you're an entrepreneur.
Yep.
You need to think about scalability. Otherwise, you're never going to make the money that you think you are going to make. And that's why you became the sole trader, because you didn't want a fucking boss.
That's
you
right.
Want to answer to anyone. Otherwise, go get employed.
Totally. Less stress.
Right. And the thing is, right, the $10 an hour that we pay the Philippines, if you're charging as a VA $50, their $10 they're receiving, it works out, I would assume, I could be completely off, but I feel like ballpark, it's about that $50 an hour for them, because we have to understand money.
Yes.
Australia, we're in an inflated economy where we need to charge as I'm not a VA, but you need to charge X amount per hour just to fucking live and survive.
Yeah.
But the money that we're giving VAs, either move countries and charge less and get more work, but over there, like the $10 an hour, it's not like we're ripping the Filipinos off.
No, that's good money for them. Yeah. That's honestly for us, that's what we pay. Like a very, I don't want to say basic, but like just a great general admin VA. That's the salary. We actually pay our VAs quite a bit more, and we are, as a virtual assistant agency, we're on the higher end for clients, but we are getting really experienced, skilled virtual assistants. And actually our elite package is based on like OBMs or operation managers. We've got accountants, we've got legal secretaries. Like, we are really focusing on the roles that you would pay here in Australia $150,000 a year. Like, you could replace that with our elite package. So when I get people commenting on, say, like my Meta ads and going, oh, like you're taking our jobs overseas. No, like I'm not about firing anyone in your team. Like, if you've got a great Australian team, keep them. But why are they doing $10 an hour tasks? You could have them as managers, managing sections of your business, helping with the growth, doing dollar productive tasks for you, and get them a VA to be doing the $10 an hour tasks. Like, I guarantee that person you're paying $100,000 a year, they will leave in a year or two if you continue to give them boring, mundane tasks and no career progression. This is how you can do that. So you don't have to keep hiring onshore staff. You can have your great, solid team of Australian team members as managers and helping you run the business at a higher strategic level, and get the VAs to support them. That's how you grow, and that's how you scale. So the people that say, oh, you're taking our jobs overseas, when we're not, because you wouldn't be able to afford another person in your office at $100,000 to do basic admin.
Yeah.
So, like,
get better at your job. Just get better.
Yeah, totally.
My main VA, she's not even a VA. She's my unicorn. They say you don't.
I love
you
that.
should. You would know. We came from the same coach, and I learned these. Like, you should never create a role around a person.
Yes.
I challenge the fuck out of that belief. My gal, my unicorn, I was like, she's amazing, and I'm rolling with it, and she's irreplaceable in that sense. But I give her she progresses, she gets bonuses, she gets pay rises because she wants to be a part of this. She's invested in the mission.
I love that. Yeah.
So why not? Like, I'm not, and then when it come to a point that there are some, but like, she does things like accounts. Like, I'm not going to hand over my accounts to a foreign country, even no matter how good their English is, not right now anyway, because of my customer experience. But I've hired Australian for like my podcast and for what I paid and what I offered. And then that didn't work out. That didn't work out. It didn't last very long. And then now my podcast guy, who's from the Philippines, I'm like, I just need to go offshore and I'm going to get a guy. Oh my gosh, the quality, how quick it is. What I was paying someone for 10 hours, I pay him for almost a month's worth.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't it wild?
And he's so grateful because what I provide, because he's better at the job. Like, I'm not trying to, and it's just the absolute truth. Like, if you want to be paid well in a VA or a supportive role in Australia, be the fucking best. And then you know what? You'll hit that point, as we said, that then you're like, I need to outsource the little things that actually drain my battery because it's not my zone of genius.
Yeah.
That's the evolution.
Yeah. And isn't it crazy? Like, you can, and same, I've got Sheila, who is my unicorn, and I've actually had to do a bit, you know how before you said don't create roles around people? I definitely did that. And now my business, my core team is 12 people. And I've kind of looked at my org chart and I'm like, okay, I have created too many roles around people. So I have to do a little bit of a restructure, but there's certain people that do, like, I'm keeping them. So I have to continue to create a role around them. Yeah. But then the rest of the team, I'm like, I actually need to look at what the business needs and move a couple of people, and also like bring in some new people as well, just so we can continue to grow. Because with Sheila, she does so much in the business that she's at capacity. So now she has her own VA, but we've had to restructure that as well. So it's interesting. I was always don't create roles around people, but when you find a unicorn, especially in the Philippines, you could pay them double. Like, I pay Sheila really, really well, and people say that's too much for a Filipino. No, it's not. It's not to me, because she's irreplaceable. And she will never leave me because she wouldn't be able to get what she's getting elsewhere. I hope not, because then I'd just up her, because she would never leave. And I've said to like a couple of key people in my business, like, you're never leaving, because I wouldn't know how to run my business. Like, they run everything for me. And that's allowed me to do podcasts and network and do all the things that have helped grow the business. So yeah, when you find a good unicorn, you're like, I will just pay you well and give you bonuses, and you can never leave me.
Yeah. I think like we get to make our own rules, and then it comes down to
Totally.
like, take all the advice,
Yep.
learn, and make your own. Yeah, I had to make my own rules. And the thing is, you're always going to learn your lesson anyway. Like I hit points where like, and it's usually I can do it on myself. Where's that showing up again? I was like, I thought I had delegated and it's the next level because I want to scale and I
Yep.
want to add 10 grand, 20 grand to my monthly revenue. So that means like I need the structure to hold that, which all comes down to, I talk about this all the time. Like you can't build your skyscraper off rotten stumps.
Yeah.
So if
Oh, I
I've,
love that.
all right.
Yeah,
So
so good.
can't build it. So when it comes to money, like you're trying to build wealth, if your rotten stumps are like poverty mentality, like all of that shit, bad money management, poor money management, it's all that. But like, say I've built my 10-story apartment building right now. So that's my business, but I want it to be a 30-story apartment building. I can't just build up
Yep.
because I don't know the
That's it.
foundation.
You've got to build. Yep.
So what's the structure? What does that look like? And that's what support is that? Who's coming in? What systems in place? And I think it's really important I used to always hear like systems in business is just like tech and stuff, but I realized no, systems is also the people.
Yep.
Like there's people, and that's
It's
where this is
people,
why
systems, and processes. I reckon you can't scale without those three. You think you can get like, and you can get to a certain level, and that's where, like, when I got Sheila, I was just like, oh my, and that's why I created our elite package, because I was like, everybody needs a Sheila or a Sheila equivalent. Then she's not just a general VA. She's the next level. She's like my general manager. And where was I going with that? So yeah, but now she's at capacity and taking on too many things. She's got too many roles, too many hats. And I'm like, okay, now we've got to replicate that. So like building that foundation instead of it being like me, Eileen and Sheila, and then a whole heap of team under that. It's like we need to like expand that foundation so we can then continue to go up.
yes. So like listening, if you're a business owner, just so much wisdom and gold, and I guess evidence to wherever you're at. Like if you feel stuck, which we all feel stuck in business when we set a new goal and we're like, why are we not there yet?
Yes.
It's that trust in the process of delegating, getting the help, getting the support. But this lesson and this evidence, even though it's specific to business right now, if you just earn the full-time income, as in, or maybe you're like the hubby does and you're a stay-at-home mom, however you receive, I always talk about this, however you receive income, this is where structure and support is so important. Like what in the home space, like I have a cleaner. Fuck, I couldn't afford the cleaner at the time, but I was losing my shit at hubby because I was the one who had to scrub the grout in the bathroom.
Yeah. And laundry is a big one for me. I don't touch laundry anymore because it would frustrate me so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can pay someone to do this for $50. Like, why am I spending my hour in the afternoon folding clothes when I should be spending time with my kids?
Yeah.
I would much rather just pay someone. And it doesn't always have to be delegate to work more in your business. You can delegate so you've got free time to actually raise your family or go to yoga or whatever you want to do that's going to give you that time and space that you need. Do that. Like, don't stay up till midnight working on your business when you could delegate things for $10 an hour. Like, it blows my mind.
You just made me want to vomit a little bit when you said stay up till midnight. But I'm an early bird. I'm an early night. I'm a nana.
Yeah.
But I learned that. Yeah, I learned that early. It's like I can't sacrifice sleep or I can't function. I don't have the capacity. And then having kids, like we spend almost $500 a week in nanny care because we are unvaxxed family. I'm cool with that. That's my choice. It's not even like I can send to a daycare. I'm like, I'll pay full daycare rates, but daycares are private and most of them just have the rule of like, so cool, private nannies. But I could have my little one at home and even start like she's 3.5, start the pre-kindy, whatnot. But when I do that, I become resentful if I'm trying to play Barbies all day and then I don't have the energetic capacity either to give her or then in my business. So even a nanny, like obviously when you're working, like if we have to do daycare, it depends on your situation. But in my situation as an entrepreneur, I've created a business for the time freedom. But if she needs socializing, she needs to learn things that most of the time when she's with the nannies, I am getting shit done in my business. But then when there's the times where I'm like, I just need some Kim time to recharge my battery so I can actually be a good mum and not get fucking triggered and take my shit out on her.
Yeah.
So people,
absolutely.
It comes back down to like the selfish goal. the more we're okay with being selfish in our life and in our business for what we want, and we do it from loving, like the easier it is to like hire the VAs, hire this, hire that, outsource.
Yep.
Because then the more we have to give ourselves, the more we can pour from that overflowing cup, which
Absolutely.
everyone knows this, but we never do it.
Oh my God. Yep.
Oh, so yeah. So what's been your biggest lesson other than delegating? Because we've already established that lesson.
Yeah.
I want to bring this back to creating wealth for your life.
Yep.
What's been the biggest lessons or learnings or things that you've implemented or that even the wealth outcomes that you never thought was even possible to create in your life?
Yeah.
What experiences do you have with this that you'd love to share?
I've realized that even though the business is doing well and revenue is great and will continue to grow, I want to create wealth in other areas. So if, God forbid, the Philippines was wiped out by a, tsunami or something horrible, I'm like, my business could disappear, right? So I need to create wealth in other areas. If I needed to, I would, or of course, start a new business, or I would go back and get a job. Like, I'm not, as much as I would hate going back and getting a job, but if something happens, I would, until I figured it out what I could do next. But we're investing in property. We have shares. We have Bitcoin. We have all of these things that there's other areas of wealth creation. It's not just business. There was a time last year where I was like, maybe I'll get an investor in AgentSync, or maybe I'll sell AgentSync. I did, not that I wanted to sell it, but I was like, if I could get a lot of money for it, what else would I want to do? And I'm like, I'm so interested in investing in property. I think it's my real estate background of 20 years. But we've got investment properties now. So I think so many people have the pressure of when they start a business, they go all in on, I want to make this, this huge business and create lots of money. That's great. And I do believe you should have a business and go all in on it if that's what you want. But you need to look elsewhere as well to create wealth. Wealth doesn't come from just one thing. I believe it comes from many things that, I guess, progress at different rates. So you wouldn't buy a property and then, unless it's like needs a reno and you're thinking, oh, I could add by doing this up and flipping it. If that's your goal, do that. But invest in property for the long term. So that's what we've done. We've got a couple of properties. We'll continue to buy more. We've got some goals for buying a big bit of land and building a house and doing something else on the land, Airbnb, cottages, or I don't know. We've got a few ideas, so that we'll, stay tuned for that one. But I think leaving my corporate role, like, we would have always invested in property, but we wouldn't be able to do it at the scale that we can do it now. So yeah, I think it's just, I truly think people always spend time on like a business plan, but people need to have a life plan as well. And what does that look like? What do you want out of your life? And what do you want out of your investment? Look at my parents, and my God, I love them so much and they helped me so much with my girls. My dad had his own business, but when he closed that down to retire, there was nothing. There was no super. He didn't put any super away. My mum worked at a pharmacy for, I don't know, 100 years. She, when she retired with a tiny super amount, and they sold their house to go traveling around Australia. And, I'm so grateful that they helped us to get set up with our house. And we continue to give that back to them now that I actually can. And that's a big driver for me, is my parents supported us so much that now I can support them, which is amazing. So a lot of what I do isn't just for my immediate, like Clint and the girls, it's for my parents and my extended family as well. But I never want to retire from a job and have nothing.
Yes.
So many people get a job and or start their own business, which is amazing, but they just are happy with their little income that they make per month, and they're not investing on, they're not putting away in their super, and they're going to retire when they're 60, 65, 70, 75, if they need to keep working and have a pension, barely have the house that they've paid off. And I think that's so sad. Like, there's so much wealth out there
Yes.
had, and you can have it all if you work hard. Like, I really love Jack Henderson. He is a property investor. He's got a few businesses, and he has hundreds of properties now. And he's like 28 or something. Sam Gordon's another one. Like, they've created their wealth through property, which I love. But I really think it's like property, shares, Bitcoin, crypto. Do what feels So do what feels right for you, but start investing and start putting money away. And I remember when we bought our first investment property, I just had Ella. She was 7 days old, and my husband's friend had put a deposit on this block of land in this new estate that was being built. And he was like, babe, it's only 10 grand. We only have to pay 10 grand now to get the block, and we can figure it all out later. And I was like, oh, okay. So we just did it. We're like, what's the worst that can happen? Have to sell the block of land in a few years when it's registered. We're going to make money. So we're like, let's just do it. Paid the 10 grand, got the block of land. That registered with the council 18 months later. And we obviously had to get the loan for that. It was like 250K. We're like, okay, now we've got to build the house. So that was 300K. 4 years later, this house and land package that we created was 550K, and it's now worth 800,000. So it's like, I'm so grateful we were like, let's just do it. And I just challenge people to be like, just do it. Like, just do the hard thing, do the scary thing.
You're not going to die.
You're not going to die. What's the worst that can happen? You have to build a house or buy a house and renovate it and sell it or rent it out.
Yeah. And then if it's a 10 grand loss, it's a 10 grand lesson. I always look at it. This message in this comes down to what have you got to lose? If you need, there's people but I want money to invest. Okay, well, what can you delegate that is taking up your capacity? Because everyone has the same amount of time. Everyone gets the same amount of time. Okay. And everyone has different priorities, and everything is a choice, whether we consciously chose it or not. That can be triggering for people as well.
Yep.
Then it comes down to okay, well, if you're in business, I need help. This was me, and no, I can do it myself. And then when I finally passed the baton and trusted in help, it was fucking scary.
Yeah.
But holy shit, I could never fathom myself following up on decline payments now. I'm like, that is another thing. I'm like, as if I used to do that.
No way.
Or as if I used to respond to XYZ. I'm about to hand over my full email list, my full inbox. Which is scary.
I haven't got an email and a work email to my personal email. That was one of the best things I did in my business is got rid of that. Yeah.
I know. I'm like that. But the thing, and you learn, I guess where I was going with that is you're scared. You want more wealth. So you want to invest. You need more money. What can you free up? What can you get help with to free up
more money?
And you do make more money. We're about to invest in our next property.
Yep.
Which,
amazing.
Again, is scary, but I go because it's scary because you're breaking through next level.
Yep.
Healing. Or you got to think about that Hangover movie, the second one. The Asian guy goes, "But did you die?"
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Am I going to die? Did I die?
What's the worst that can? I always think even with you bringing on your team member and you're a bit scared. What's the worst that can happen? You've got to fire someone and you learn a lesson.
Yeah. And I had that, and it was scary. Then I learned, and I was like, oh my gosh, people, you know what it usually is? It's our people pleaser, generational wounding, us women, and you're just breaking through that every single time. The women, we know this, we're making big money, but we're not even making big money in comparison.
I know. I look at my revenue now and I'm like, oh, could be so much more.
The people who are earning more, when we're in a poverty mentality, which we've grown up, the scarcity we've grown up with, and all of us entrepreneurs pretty much have at that level. I used to look at them, oh, they're lucky, or they get it easy, blah, blah, blah. But then when you start to get to that point, you realize, oh my gosh, this is what it takes. The less I people please and the more I please myself and the outcome, the better outcome I'm going to get. So I then have more to give. And obviously, if you're a good-hearted person, we're not going to be see you next Tuesdays about it all.
Yeah.
Get money in the hands of good people.
Absolutely.
We're going to do good things and buy our family and be able to have that overflow.
Yeah.
And then we become the ones that trigger the poverty mentality in others.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's why I like who I said before, Jack Henderson, because he gets so much slack on his reels and posts and everything, because people are just give it to him about owning so much property and how dare you when there's a housing crisis. And he's like, I was poor. You could own this many properties as well. Like,
But
you
the
just haven't
housing
tried.
crisis is a housing crisis. He's buying them so people can rent.
Yeah.
Otherwise, go buy
What's
your
the
own house.
problem? Yeah. If you want to buy them, buy the house. Like,
Don't be hating on hate on the government, hate on the banks and the government that are creating the inflation.
That's right.
Or hate on this is a whole nother loop, a wormhole or whatever. But we're in Australia, the borders are open and we get a lot of immigration, which there's the beautiful side of that.
Mm-hmm.
But the other side is it is massively driving housing prices up because there's the supply and demand. There's more people than there are houses.
Yep.
So don't get in the game. You have to make the game work for you. Don't hate the game.
Absolutely.
Well, do you know what? You can hate the game, but then what is it? Keep your enemies close. Whatever the saying is, make the game work for you. You can hate it, but then be the owner of it. I don't know.
What is it? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. Do that. That's what I'm like. Yeah, I'm getting in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People will always whinge, or people will always disagree with what you're doing, but they could do it too.
We're showing you how. I literally came from the most scarcity, the most bullshit around money and wealth and whatnot. And you know what? I've joked about this before. I joke because I mean it with love. If you don't laugh, you cry. I have family members, and when I grew up, they were always considered the snobby uncles and all this. And I'm like, now I fucking get it. Because they're the ones that invested and then didn't want to have to deal with the low socio BS, whinging, poor me.
Yeah. But they're not snobby. They've just actually done something with it.
Done something.
Right,
So let's
with their money.
That.
Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk about how can people find you? Tell us about your offer, people in business listing, you need Jess, you need AgentSync in your life. Where can they find you? Obviously all the show notes, guys, all the links are in there too.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm really big on Insta, so you can always pop into my DMs and we can have a chat. So that's Jess Whatman _AgentSync. Or we've got our website, which is agentsync.com.au. But yeah, I mean, we would just absolutely love to help as many business owners as possible. And it's truly so you could grow your own business and delegate and have an amazing team. Scale your business, whatever you want to do, but you should not, as a business owner, you should not be doing those $10 an hour tasks. You could do so much more with your time. So yeah, we've got the two packages. We've got Essential and Elite. An Essential package is like your great general VA or social media VA, someone that's really good at a task list or procedures. If you've got repeating things in your business that you do weekly or monthly, you shouldn't be doing them. There's a process to it. Someone else can do it for you. Our Elite package is more of that strategic thinker, the manager, think OBM, operations manager. We've also got, not that we have them, we have them for clients, but we don't have them just sitting around, but we hire for what you need in your business. So if you came to us and said, oh, Jess, I own a solar company and I need someone that can go through and manage my team of people and look at the rosters and delegate to other, VAs and do things like that. A lot of people think that's an onshore role, but if it's done on a computer, it can be outsourced to the Philippines. So we also find that higher level, elite level people in the Philippines. So whatever that role is, if it's done on a computer, it can be outsourced. We just work with you. We work on what the role is, the task, what the tasks are, and then we go and recruit specifically for you and your business. So we make sure we're finding the best people we can as candidates to provide to you. And then we help with the interviews with you. So once we do a short list of 2 or 3 people who are the best out of thousands of resumes we get, then you can interview them and pick the right person for your team. So yeah, 2 packages. I'm really working hard on educating people that VAs just aren't basic admin anymore. There's so many roles out there. We've got AI specialists, we've got website developers, such high level roles. And it's wild. When I started AgentSync, I was like, I'll just give basic admin people to people in Australia, but it's become so much more than that. And I'm just so happy at how it's grown the last few years because business owners need this support at the higher level as well. And that's what we want to provide. So
that doesn't chew up all your profits. So you can actually enjoy the money you make.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing all this and having this chat with me. You're amazing. I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. Thanks for having me.
Right. See y'all.
Bye. Bye, guys.